Hey there everybody, this is Lee with Creative Tea Time Mom, and this video is going to be all about how we taught our kids how to read. So I have 3 kids that I homeschool. I have a 5th grader, a 2nd grader, and a preschooler. My 5th grader spent 2 years in public school. My daughter did a public preschool, and my preschooler has obviously never been anywhere but at home with me. My biggest challenge when we were thinking about homeschooling was how to teach them how to read, because reading is so foundational in those early years. Once they learn how to read, then that can take them anywhere. But if their reading is not strong and fluent, by about 2nd, 3rd grade, they're really going to struggle, and I didn't want that for my kids. So my biggest stumbling block in deciding if we were going to do this was, can I teach them how to read? Now, I do have an educational background, but my degree is in junior high and high school, so I've never had any of the reading training. So for me, that was a big concern. The summer before my oldest started school, I found out about this book called Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. And I thought, really? I know that there are people that take tons, well, not tons, but they take reading courses as part of their credential, and they are taught how to present lessons, and they're taught all this stuff about the methodology of reading. Could it really possibly be 100 lessons simple to teach your child how to read? Now, I'm not discounting anybody's credential out there. I think that that education is very valuable, but for me it was like, could I actually do this? So the summer before he started kindergarten, I found this book at the library, and we decided we were going to go through it. So he was almost 5. He has a fall birthday, so he hadn't quite turned 5 yet. And every day when my daughter would take a nap, I would take him outside and we would do a lesson together. You guys have seen some of those videos, and he latched onto it super fast. If you go through the lessons, let me find the beginning of one. In the beginning, it introduces like a new sound, and then you review the sounds that you've been doing, and then you'll start to sound out words. And then the second half of the lesson, your child reads a story. So the stories start out very short, just 3 sentences long. I think this is lesson 27. So it's just 3 sentences long. It shows them the break between the words, how to sound out each sound. And as they progress, those little dots underneath disappear because they're learning how to blend the sounds without the prompt. For each one of these, in the red, it tells the parent exactly what to say in introducing the sound, introducing the lesson. So you have like a word-for-word script. Now I got to about lesson probably 20, and I thought, okay, I've got the routine down. I don't necessarily go word for word with every lesson, but I keep the general idea the same, and we can make it our own. There's a picture that goes with every story, so your kid gets to look at the illustration. You read the story through twice, and then that picture is kind of like their reward. They answer some comprehension questions. All in all, the lesson takes about 20 minutes. You're out of there. This worked great for my oldest and for my daughter. She learned to read a little bit older because she didn't start kindergarten until a year later because of her birthday, but they were both reading fluently by the time they started kindergarten. Now with my youngest, I decided about the time he turned 4, these guys picked it up so well at 4 and a half, I thought, okay, we'll try it at 4. Did not work. Did not work at all. We were getting frustrated with each other. We had to take a step back, and then that's when I thought, you know what, just because they learned to read at 4 and a half doesn't mean he's ready at 4. So we stepped back till he was about 4 and a half. He could sit down a little bit longer, didn't have quite so many wiggles, took off with the lessons. Absolutely took off with these lessons. Did a fantastic job. We got to about a lesson 50, and as I said, the stories will get longer and longer, and then for him it was just overwhelming because he's still a little guy and the stories were getting a little bit too long for him to track the whole thing. So we backtracked about 15 lessons, started from around lesson 35 and continued on there again, just to give him a little bit of break, some time to grow, some time for his brain to grow so that he could track better with this. And now we're back up to about lesson 70, and he is actually reading real books. We've got some of the Dr. Seuss, like Hop on Pop, Are You My Mother, In a People House. He's picking up real books and reading real books. Your child will be reading real books by the time they finish this lesson. Another thing that I did with him that I didn't do with the older two is I picked up some Bob books. In that time that he was overwhelmed and we felt like we needed to backtrack to simpler stories, we were using these. There's less words on the page, cute illustrations, shorter sections, shorter books, and so this didn't overwhelm him as much, and he was still able to keep up his skills. The last tool I want to mention, and you can get these at the Dollar Tree. They come in sets of about 40 or 50. They are sight word cards. I know that you can get these at Lakeshore and other places, but they're so much more expensive. If you go to the Dollar Tree, they're like these little sentence strips, and they're already pre-printed for you. They have preschool, I believe, through 3rd grade. If you cannot find them, because I know sometimes my Dollar Tree is sold out, they always have the sentence strips. And so I will buy a packet of sentence strips, which I had to do this last time, and I will go online. All the sight words are listed online, and I can leave you a link down below for that as well. And you just print them up and you run through them like flashcards. I'll introduce a new one every couple of days because he picks them up pretty quickly, but we go through our cards every day. He's already done all the preschool ones, and he's more than halfway through with the kindergarten. So those are my 3 tips for teaching your child how to read. Definitely pick up this book. This is a newer edition, but you can find it on a lot of used curriculum sites. It's a great book. Bob books are kind of pricey, but you can find them at Costco on occasion, and of course Dollar Tree flashcards, fantastic, right? Let me know in the comments down below what you're using in your homeschooler, and we will see you in our next video. Bye guys.